Welcome to Bothering the Band. My name is Ryan Bydak. With me, as always, the devil and Abigail and Levy. We have the most badass episode ever. I'm just kidding. We have a great episode with a Portland-based husband and wife duo known as Corvair. They have vertical shiplap. This is filled with lots of laughs, ladies and gentlemen. Bothering the Band with Heather and Brian of Corvair. Boom.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Totally blurred.
I was gonna say you're like make your lady. You're like you stay blurred.
Ghost little girl on the in the attic.
Oh my god, it's terrifying.
Wait, is it videoed or can I just stay blurry? Or is that annoying?
I mean, it's just weird, but yeah, if you want to stay.
Okay, I have to get my booster seat.
I just did that before you got here. My pillow and all my different pillows.
I got my pillow. We all got our pillows.
We've noticed that when we take photos, I always look like a little peanut head. Like next to Brian, different, like I'm like the, pygmy chimp. And like he's the full size chimp.
Oh, great. Oh, cool. I was thinking they're definitely hiding stuff, which is what I do on work calls. I'm like, I'm gonna blur out
Totally.
Jean-Claude Van Damme here. So my boss and clients don't see it.
You have cool stuff. But yeah, you don't want people you work with to know that you're like a full human.
Yeah, exactly. You got some drums and a keyboard and some speakers.
Yeah. I mean,
very cool.
all the good stuff is on this side of the camera, so you can't see.
Yeah.
The
All of
recording
it.
stuff, you could just see
The flying V's over here.
Yeah, flying V over there.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, welcome to Bothering the Band. We're so happy to have you, Brian and Heather Corvair. We have some really dumb questions for you. I don't know if anyone prepped you. Caroline might have, but you're in for a treat, to say the least.
We did work, so we prepped ourselves too. We were very
Great. We saw you followed us on Instagram too. Thank you so much. I think you followed me too. We're stoked. We love the new record. And here we go. How are you and where are you?
We're good, and we're in Portland.
Yeah, we're doing good. Brian's a little sweaty right now. He's radiating heat.
Yeah, this is a terrible camera. My work camera doesn't look like this. I have like really rosy cheeks. This is weird.
Oh, you're in good company though, because I am perpetually sweaty. Not only that, I am in the garage in Florida. So it's like I'm in a schwitz. I am in a sauna. This is all for health purposes. I was like, podcast in a sauna. But
A schwitz is like the new wellness trend.
yeah.
Replaces like infrared sauna. It's all about the schwitz now.
I'm gonna play that up. That's why I'm doing this.
Like alkalizing
Yes.
or something.
So hip. You're in Portland. I love Portland. I haven't been there in a long time, so I have some Portland questions for you.
Oh, good.
Do you know Pock Pock? Is that still around? Is the restaurant?
It's gone and we're bummed because
devils.
yeah, those wings were like holy grail food to us.
Those wings.
Have them?
Yes, I specifically every time I was there, I would be like, that's like the second thing I would do.
The thing about them is they were also like a challenge because they're so enormous.
Yeah, they're like the full wing.
And really, really hot.
Yes.
Like, wait, can we curse? I just
yes.
Okay. Really
absolutely
hot. Like they were just a total project and I loved them. And when Brian and I started courting, I took him to Pock Pock because I thought he would like it, and we were bummed when I left. It was pretty close to us too.
Yeah.
There was one on 15th, which was like not very far from where we live. And I feel like that was a very sad moment for Portland when we lost Pock Pock.
Yeah, it is a sad. I agree. It's bumming me out. The one in Brooklyn also closed. That's where I also went to it. Anyways, when's the last time you went to Powell's?
Oh God, it's been a
No,
while.
I went
You went-
recently, yeah, with the boys, and we went to sell books, and then we bought books with credit. So yeah,
Circular economy.
the selling books to Powell's is quite the adventure. So there's a line of people, at least 10 people long, who each have like 500 books. So they have 4 or 5 crew. And this is at the smaller, Powell's has a few different franchises. So there's our locations, and this is one of the smaller ones, not the big one. And even there, it was like 3 or 4 people that's full-time job is just to scan books, look them up, see what they're worth. People just, people are there with like moving carts and dollies, and it's pretty intense. So we were there not too long ago, a couple months ago.
Yeah, we don't go downtown as much anymore. Like, I guess because we've become more homebound, like a lot of the world. Like I used to venture downtown a lot more, and not so much these days.
How far, like driving wise, how far is
Not
is
far.
it?
What, like
5 minutes.
How
5
many bridges do you have to cross?
One bridge.
One bridge, 5 minutes. It's pretty close.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So you have no excuse. Okay. I'm
The
just
bridge is like, for Portlanders, the bridge is like a very psychological barrier, not unlike New Yorkers, people. We actually live a lot closer to downtown than a lot of other places on the east side, but we're like, oh, we couldn't possibly cross the bridge. We couldn't tempt fate and cross the bridge.
I feel you. I lived in New York, and it was tough sledding. Anytime my friends were like, let's go to Brooklyn, because I lived uptown.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like, I don't want to go. It's not going there. It's coming back. And then Abby just recently relocated to a place where they have bridge doldrums.
I'm in Central Florida, but I'm at the beach and I live on an island.
Wow.
And you have to go over any number of bridges, obviously, to get to the mainland. And there's, bumper stickers everywhere that are like, please don't make me go over the bridge. And it's same thing. It's like 2 miles, if that, from my house.
where you're like, no.
Yeah, like they said, it's a psychological thing. You're like, ugh, I gotta go over that bridge.
Do they make like bridge and tunnel jokes in Central Florida about like, oh, that's the
There's no tunnels. It would be in the ocean. That would just be ocean water.
Yeah.
But they do, the mainlanders.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not that far away.
You have rumbles. Are you Trailblazers fans?
I mean, abstractly, I love this, but we don't like whenever I see someone, repping the Trailblazers, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like innate. So you're like, oh, I love it because it's part of, but you're not like in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Seattleite, so I
Oh, okay.
stopped basketball once they sold the Sonics. And that's, one you could never forgive the owner of Starbucks for selling the team to Oklahoma.
So sad.
Yeah.
The Northwest tragedy. There's a lot of big feelings about Howard Schultz.
Yes. Oh, okay. Moving on to, do you think, in your opinion, that Portland is a shady town? Do you see what I did there?
Trees. Yeah. Plenty of trees here. A lot of leaves.
Never heard it called that, but yeah, it's pretty shady, actually.
It could go either way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it's sunny, sometimes it's shady.
And you have a song called Shady Town. That's why I asked that. How do you describe your music?
That's the hardest question that I could never find an answer to. It's kind of got an indie pop base. I think there's a weird element. I think Heather's better with words. So we should have this down, right? We should have an elevator pitch. We should have one sentence to describe our music.
You don't have to. I think maybe it being tough to describe might be the description itself, It's tough to describe. That's why we're asking.
Right.
I
I'll let
guess
Heather
I call
take a
it-
crack at it.
Yeah, I just call it power pop with some edge. It's like a little arty, a little arty version of power pop, indie rock. I actually saw someone tweet the other day. My kid just asked me what power pop was, and I couldn't think of any way to describe it. And so, just as I'm saying it's power pop, someone said, "Well, what is that?" Let's unpack that. I would be like, "What is power pop?"
Yeah, is that power ballads? Is that power chords in pop music?
Yeah, where is the power?
I don't think we're that.
Where's the
powerful.
power come from? But why do? Yeah, we're not that powerful.
I wouldn't call
We're-
this power pop.
Where do where does the power come from? Physically, where does the power?
We have some
Core
power.
power. We have emotional power.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Well, but we have a really powerful drummer.
Like a Corvair, our power's in the rear.
Oh, that's right.
Is that true?
Wait, I can't remember. Is it?
I don't know. That seems like an Abby question.
We should know this too, right? It's our car.
Do you have a Corvair?
My mom had a Corvair. That's the
Okay.
first I have memories of. It's a nostalgia thing. And it had a hole in the running board in the back seat. So we'd ride the back and we'd just like crawl around on the floor looking through the hole, watching the road go by.
That is bananas.
No one ever suggested maybe that floorboard's rusted to the point where the kid might fall through. But
Oh my god. Did you drop stuff in there?
I'm sure I did.
Like those weird candies that were strawberry wrappers?
No, I wouldn't have.
Yes.
No, I would have eaten those and dropped my mom's like lipstick down the hole or something.
Yeah.
Abby, what did you find?
The engine was in the rear.
Wow.
Really? How did you remember that?
Well, that's how Ralph Nader got famous, was like suing Corvair.
Right. Unsafe at any speed.
Yes.
Just like our.
If I had a nickel every time Ralph Nader came up on this podcast, I'd have
Really?
one nickel. No, that's insane.
I thought you were going to say he was like the ghost in the machine. That he was just like,
He just comes up in every podcast. It's like about nachos and
Apparently, he's friends with our neighbor.
wow, really?
But he's walked around in front of our house before.
we hear this. People are like, oh, yeah, you know,
Legend.
he's friends with Ralph Nader. And we're like, okay. That's weird and cool. Now, if it was Bill Clinton or something, we'd be pretty excited.
And you know, if Ralph Nader shows up at your like potluck or your barbecue, like uninvited, that'd be pretty funny.
This is Joe Lieberman or some other
Yeah, there you go.
spoiler. Yeah.
Oh, you mentioned Corvairs. This is dumb, super dumb. Do you remember a store called Corvettes with a K?
No.
That's awesome. We should have named our band with a K.
Corvettes with a K. I brought this up because we had Matt Pinfield on the show recently, and he talked about it like we should know. He was like, "Oh yeah, Corvettes," and I was like, "Well, I don't know." We both were like, well, "I don't know what the hell that is." So we were like, "Let's ask the next guest."
And what do they sell?
I think it was a department store on the East Coast. Actually, I looked it up.
Really? That's
Yeah.
an edge for a department store. You're like going hard for a particular demographic.
I think it was a name or something like that. I don't know.
We were driving back from Seattle last night, and our youngest was really excited to see this Corvette. I had to explain to him that it wasn't really a supercar. And he was like, "Why isn't it a supercar?"
Yeah, you were kind of shitting on
I'm like,
Corvettes, and he was
You know,
excited.
I'm like, it's just, it's a Corvette. It's like a Chevy that's not hard to find. It's like, but he thought it was as cool as
It was like an Aston Martin or
a
something.
Lamborghini or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And interesting, I looked up what the name Corvair where it originated, in the marketing department at the time thought they would cross Corvette with Bel Air.
Oh,
So it's classy, classy
Clever, yeah, pretty clever.
douche car.
Brian, are you a car guy?
No,
You just hate Corvettes, and you want to destroy it for your child.
I don't like them. No, I don't like Corvettes. And my dad's buddy had a Corvette when I was a kid. I had to drive around in the You probably didn't know there was a back of a Corvette. It's about
I
6
didn't.
inches wide. I had to get squeezed in there. Right in the back of the
Mm.
Corvette.
He was a flight attendant and a stud, right?
Well, he was like a baggage dude.
Oh,
like,
And not a stud.
You know he was, because my dad, he's my dad's roommate throughout that decade. He would, we'd stay at my dad's on the weekends, and would always like be bringing home some other flight attendant like every weekend.
ladies.
I think it's
Either way,
Ladies
we're
here.
This is
They come-
we're going to my room now. See you, kids.
oh goodness. Speaking of rooms and kids, did you go to prom? Either of you, whoever wants to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to prom, and do you remember 2 questions? Do you remember the name of your prom date, and are you friends with him on Facebook?
Bobby Zielinski.
Wow, Bobby! Shout out to Bobby. He's a big listener.
Bobby Zielinski. Yeah. He calls in all the time. And yeah, totally friends with him on Facebook.
Bobby Zielinski. Ryan,
I went to 4 proms in a row.
stud muffin.
What?
I did. I didn't tell you that. Sorry, honey.
Oh goodness. With 4 different dates.
4 different years. Yeah, different. And then I remember them all, and I was friendly with most of them, I think. I quit Facebook though.
Oh, good for you. Yeah. It's
It's hard. It's hard though, because I realize now I can't reach a lot of people.
yeah. You can reach out to the people you want to talk to.
Well, it's not good for like promoting the band either. I have
True. We'll get Caroline on that. You hear this?
She told us not to do it, actually. She's like, don't quit Facebook. And Brian's like, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna.
I want to quit the rest of social media, but I can't.
I would love it. There is a date. If Abby's heard this a million times. There's a date where I'm like, it's not a specific date, but I know it has an end date. I'm like, I know it's gonna get to the point where I'm like, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I have fantasies, and also, now that Twitter is now
X.
X, yeah.
what's going to happen?
Okay, so Brian, you're kind of not into cars, but you have a very strong dislike of Corvettes. You went to prom from like infancy to college.
As a professional prom date. This is the other. Well, we'd like to a lot of things to come full circle. I was really into my first car, and it was a Volkswagen Scirocco, and found out after Heather and I were together that she also had her first car was also a Volkswagen Scirocco. So it's kind of an obscure car.
Yes, it is. I know this car.
And that was our high school car.
So
Ours.
mine was black.
Ours was all black. Mine was all white.
It's a tale as old as time. It's love. It's meant to be.
Well, it's high school. It's only a few years back. But
Yeah.
So
It's like 5 years ago.
that's the reason why we put Scirocco line in Shady Town.
Because it's a weird word, too.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It means hot wind.
It does.
I think it does, actually. Oh, maybe a warm wind.
It means hot wind.
Yes.
I'm learning
Yes.
so much today.
We
I know,
almost,
this is fun.
we almost named the song Hot Wind, but
There's always time, man. There's always album number whatever.
sorry, we got a copyright on it, so couldn't do
I already got a tattoo of it.
it. Where? Like tramp.
Yeah, just like, I'm gonna get it on my neck. Okay, so right before you logged on, Abby and I were having a conversation. When's the last time, even if it's recently, when's the last time you bought a 2 liter of soda?
Like camping?
Probably
maybe?
camping or barbecues. It's probably not that long ago. In
Okay.
fact, I know though, in one of our upper shelves, the ones you can't reach and never use,
Where the
there's
paper plates are.
we have like a ton of like seltzer waters from 5 years ago or something.
We do.
Yeah.
Seltzers don't count. I'm saying like soda pop, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew.
Okay, none
that
of
stuff.
those. We might have bought like, so these were mixers like ginger ale or something
Yeah.
in for a party.
Or squirt.
But we have not bought a 2 liter of squirt in a while.
But we go camping, like we're about to go on our annual camping trip and we buy stuff like that for camping.
We've never bought a 2 liter though.
Yeah.
So the follow-up question is, did you get the same like when she said I bought a 2 liter? She actually said I bought two 2 liters, and I was like, what? And then I instantly was like, what? And then I'm like, why am I startled at the soda? Like,
Yeah, it's weird. I like saw a guy walking around recently drinking a 2 liter of soda.
oh, I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever
That's
seen.
what I do. Just like John Wayne style.
Yeah.
Oh, you do it like this way? You have it in like a moonshine bottle?
John Wayne drank 2 liters of soda.
What kind of soda did you get? Or I call it pop, but what kind of pop?
Oh, great. That's great. That's what the fans want. to know.
We're also
For real.
Pop,
pop kids.
pop
Yeah.
people. What kind of pop are you drinking?
Black cherry soda. I bought it because it's nostalgia, essentially. It's something I drank when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's made by our local grocery store. I guess they're not really local, but and I was at one the other day and I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And they only sell it in 2 liters. Like I wouldn't have bought 2 liters.
Yeah.
But one, they were BOGO, and 2, I just like saw it and was 10 years old again. And so I was like, you're coming home with me.
Oh.
They always go flat is the problem with the 2 liter. Or my dad used to get really pissed because we wouldn't close it.
I only remember them coming with Domino's pizza.
Challenge accepted. You have to drink that 2 liter, the one you opened on the pod for the rest of the half an hour, Abby. You gotta just go for it. Did you buy? Chime in, anyone. Did you, when you were growing up, did you buy the knockoff Oreos that were 2 colors? It was like a chocolate side with a vanilla quote unquote side, and then it was this. No, you didn't. Wow.
I didn't buy them, but they were at things like
Yeah.
church,
Yeah.
youth group.
You know what I hate
Things.
more than Corvettes? Oreos.
Yeah. Overrated. I agree.
Like a s'more. They're just not good.
Overrated.
I can get past the Oreos, but if you're gonna talk smack about s'mores,
I have opinions.
Obviously, I love it. Just tell us more opinions.
I know I'll get myself in trouble. I'm gonna stop trash talking cookies.
Nabisco.
Yeah. I was gonna say Nabisco's a sponsor, and now they just pulled it. And man, fuck. Now we're.
wait, what is your beef with s'mores?
They don't taste good.
You got to go dark chocolate.
Well, we've tried different, like, okay, do we get better chocolate? Do you try to get, kind of gourmet artisanal in this s'more? And that's kind of seems wrong.
We did them with Reese's last time. And that was
Reese's-
pretty good. I really like Reese's a lot. And
Or you put a
they have a
little,
good melt point.
at one point we put peanut butter in there. And then we just switched over, like, just go ahead and do straight Reese's because you have the peanut butter and the chocolate.
It's a little decadent though.
Yeah.
Reese's on s'mores is something I've never thought of, and I'm upset at myself for just now realizing that that is a possibility.
It's called
He named it after himself.
It's named after my last name, Robert. It's a s'morebird. So I have my own s'more, but I don't like them. You don't have to like something to make it.
What about Nutella? Have you tried it with Nutella?
Oh, that's a
sounds
good call.
That's probably what
That's
we need.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea because the problem
Yeah.
I think always is it melts so unevenly too that it starts sliding around. But that's how you say that, Nutella. I always say it that way, but then I'm like, is it Nutella?
Nutella?
I thought Nutella was very fancy growing up. Back to like cookies. I thought that was for rich people for some reason. It's like Nutella, that's for French aristocrats.
Nutella and Toblerone.
Yeah, Toblerone was so fancy.
You realize it's like hazelnut flavored palm oil.
Good stuff.
I agree with you. I think Oreos are overrated. I also have a thing with getting stuff stuck in my teeth. It's just caked in there.
Oreo.
And yes, Oreos just caked in there. And it's like the whole time it's there. You can't think about anything else. Man.
You have to
Yeah,
be suspicious
there.
if something has to be dunked into something else to taste good.
Yes.
You know,
Now there's a million types of flavors of Oreos too. So
a million types of flavors of everything. We could talk about that. All of the over branding of and over flavoring of items such as Oreos or Doritos. What did we say? We just saw Dorito flavored beef jerky at the store.
Too much. Okay. That's too much.
was it next to the beef jerky flavored Doritos?
Yeah,
It should have been.
couldn't decide which one to get.
And you just smacked it off the shelf. You're like, not in my local grocer. And she's like, babe, come on, we got to get out of here. This is the second time. How do you feel about fishing, Brian?
Fishing?
Yeah.
God, I have opinions. Did I tell you that? God.
You're like, did you do like this is you're like psychic probing all of the thorny bits.
I don't like it.
We have a team of researchers and private investigators. They were like, he's got opinions about fish. Get him.
I'm not a big fish eater, and I don't like killing animals.
Okay. What about catch and release?
Well,
It's hurting their face a little bit.
it's perverted too in its own way. I prefer that. It had some good fishing, a few fishing stories with my dad when I was young. We fished a few times. One thing he did to try to win our attention and love was to buy us fishing poles and take us out on a boat and drop the line a few times.
Did it work?
Well, what are those little shark things called? Dogfish.
Bobbers?
Dogfish.
Oh.
In the Puget Sound, it's like these little bottom feeder shark looking things. That's all we caught. So you couldn't eat them.
I feel like you're holding back about fish. Let's be honest. I feel like you want to unleash about fish or fishing. How do you feel about goldfish, the snack?
Love those. Yeah, those are great.
No opinion.
I have
Well,
an
that's an
opinion.
opinion.
I love goldfish snack.
They're really
Do you like Cheez-Its? Do either of you like Cheez-Its?
Yeah. Yeah. A few years back, I went through a Cheez-It phase. Before I met Heather, I was a lovely single guy, and I would walk down the block to 7-Eleven, and I would pair a Cheez-Its with a box of wine, like a white wine, Bandit box wine with Cheez-Its, and they actually paired quite nicely. But now I'm upscale because
Then
I'm
you
married
cry.
Heather Lehrman. I would cry and watch old movies or something.
and he called it Me Night, and it was Bandit and Cheez-Its.
I think that's lovely. I think that's what the kids call like self-care.
Yes. Yes. But now, we're upscale.
I know. Heather, do you have opinions?
We have Doritos.
Yeah, I like fishing a lot. I like fishing. I have good memories of fishing. I like fish. I'm on the fence about goldfish crackers because of the thing you were just talking about with teeth. I think goldfish are the most egregious. Those in like rolled gold pretzels,
Yeah, they just get real packed in there.
really bad. So goldfish I don't love, and also they remind me of the smell of preschools.
Yeah.
Diapers, dirty hands, goldfish crackers, and like sour milk. That smells kind of traumatic. But yeah, I like real fish, goldfish. I like fish.
I like fish. I just don't like to
Do
kill
you like
them.
the band fish?
No. Oh, well, I thought that's not an opinion. That's just something everyone agrees on.
No, people love fish.
I mean, a lot of weirdos love fish.
I'm glad fish exist.
I'm glad they exist. I've met.
Yeah, they seem like nice.
What's your
smart
favorite
people.
fish song?
Oh, I mean, I only know the ones with choruses.
They have
So, farmhouse, bouncing around the room. What's the other one?
never. I don't know.
I want you to sing it. Farmhouse, go.
Refuse. No way. Can't handle this. Moving on. Oh wait, hold on. Have either of you ever won a trophy?
No, I want a spelling bee and I want a cat coloring book. It was called How to Draw Cats.
Better than a trophy.
Yeah, that's I think the only award I've ever won was How to Draw Cats. 3rd grade spelling bee. But Brian, you won a bunch of trophies, right?
Yeah, I won some trophies for BMX racing.
Whoa, very cool. What kind of bike did you ride?
A GT
A
primarily.
GT, hell yeah.
Did you write books?
No, but I skateboarded, and so we were adjacent with the BMX kids. And then we teamed up to beat up the rollerbladers. So, you know the important things in life.
Yes. I won this trophy that was double points day. And I showed up to the race and there was just 2 other kids and they were just terrible. They had terrible bikes and they couldn't ride them. And so I'm like, oh my God. And I just I wasn't that good. I was okay. I was in the better half of the spectrum, but I just destroyed and I won, since it was double points, this giant trophy. So it looks like much more of an accomplishment than it was. And so a month or 2 ago, I pulled it out of storage because my 8-year-old stepson was asking me for something. Didn't you have a trophy stored in there? So I dug out these trophies and I took out the big one. I'm like, check it out. And he's like, oh, wow. I'm like, you want to keep that in your room? And he's like, yeah. And so now he's got my BMX trophy in his room. And he's like telling his friends that like I'm some kind of hero.
For beating 2 bad kids.
Yeah. I didn't tell him that part, but
That's adorable.
Yeah.
and I'm glad I kept it for that reason.
I'm happy you kept that too. I have a tennis trophy somewhere. Maybe my daughter will be like, think that's cool.
Yeah. Trophies are
Maybe. It's no like double points BMX, beating 2 losers. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they were nice boys trying their best. And now they're big listeners too.
That's like a core memory for them too. Like, remember
Yeah.
that?
This guy actually made it over the jump. He got the big trophy.
Oh, goodness gracious. When's the last time you fell? Falling as a grown-up really sucks. Looks even worse than it is most of the time. When's the last time you fell? Do you see what I'm doing here? A lot of these are based off of song titles.
Oh, yeah.
I was fish title.
Hook. That comes from hook or right hook.
Pretty sneaky.
Oh my God.
I fell the other day. We were filming a video.
Trophy. Yeah.
I fell down a hill. We were filming a video the other day and we were on like a very steep sand dune. And Brian's like, what do you think it would look like if you fell down that hill? And I was like this and just totally like careened and barrel rolled
down
in a dress and had the dirt all over my face. And it was exciting. I like to do my own stunts.
She is, yeah. Heather will always like sacrifice for the sake of our videos.
Like get hurt
There's-
or get hypothermia.
The second
or
was it the
whatever.
first video we ever shot was in the ocean, and it was like I just did the math on my camera so that to shoot it at slow motion at this rate, you have to dance for 1 minute. And so we shot for 1 minute straight, and she just danced in the ocean, kind of up to her knees, but the waves are kind of coming and going, so knocking her off balance, kind of falling. And the sun was kind of setting, and it's just an amazing video. And she's just wiped. I mean, you wouldn't think that 1 minute of dancing could wipe you out like that. She just and it was November, so she's in the ocean in November in Oregon And
like
yeah.
totally like afterwards, like he has the tail of the footage and I was just like that kind of winded and then like hypothermic, like, oh.
But then, so we shot more. Was that the same day that we shot the
No, then you were like, what if you got crushed by a wave in an office outfit? And I was like, okay. And did that was really cool too.
Yeah. So then, yeah, she took it a step further and sat there. The waves went out. She sat there and waited for the wave to come in. And I got it on slow motion. So right when the wave hits her, like throws her backwards, she tumbles backwards.
Just fucking creamed me. It's like bam, and sent me flying.
And that's in our other video.
Yeah.
So all these videos are on our YouTube channel. You can see this.
But have you fallen lately?
I've fallen. I can't remember quite well where, but I do know that I'm shocked recently by how powerful gravity is and how fast one falls. It's like in your head you think, oh, if I fell off this thing over here, I would just catch myself or it wouldn't be that bad. But you're like, no, when you fall, you have zero control over where you're going to land or how you're going to land most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scarier. And again, the older you get, the scarier it is.
It's like, holy shit. Like when I was a kid, like that didn't seem like that big a deal to fall down this flight of stairs.
Oh yeah, falling, all over the place.
You didn't have to fall as far.
Yeah.
Now you're way up
true.
here, but when you're a kid, that's why kids aren't scared to like learn like skateboarding or skiing or snowboarding too, because when they fall, it's like 2 feet.
They're made out of
Right.
rubber.
And they just bounce. I worry a lot more about my front teeth than I used to too. Like I just have this vision that I'm gonna knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't
Yeah.
happened.
I worry about my hands. I'm a writer, and so I'm sure you think that you're the same way. Like I ride my bike every day. I try to skateboard like once a month. I'm just cruising, mind you, but I am conscious of like, don't hurt your hands. And you're a musicians, like God forbid,
You just have to switch up instruments.
Yeah. To what kind?
Sing.
Yeah, there you go. You guys should do an a cappella record. What was the word? The word hot wind or whatever?
Yeah. That's
There
our
you
new
go, that's the name of it. There you go. You're welcome. Speaking of hot wind, Heather, do you wear perfume? Brian, do you wear cologne?
first.
I do wear perfume. I kind of rotate.
Okay, you rotate. You don't have one signature scent?
I just got a perfume today, actually. My friend, we were together and tried it on, and she just surprised me with it like an hour ago, which is really kind. It's a Portland brand called Olo that I love, and it's called Erastus. It's kind of spicy, musky.
She's now getting free Olo for the rest of the month. You plugged Erastus.
Yeah. We lost Nabisco, so we gotta get a perfume sponsor now.
And Fish is no longer sponsoring you.
Brian, you rocking cologne?
No.
But you did. when you
Once
were
in a while
teenager.
I wear deodorant. Sometimes. And I'm married now. I don't have to like worry about that too much. So
Deodorant or cologne?
deodorant. Some of the deodorants I wear have a little bit of flavoring to them. But I haven't worn cologne since high school, probably.
Okay, let's get down here. Heather, would you prefer he wear cologne more often?
No, I actually,
This is a test you already passed.
no, I'm kind of into Brian's BO.
Here's the reason I don't wear deodorant.
I was like, wow, you're really kicking. I'm into it. So it's,
Yeah, that's great. I love it. Yeah.
man.
Smells like IPA.
Yeah. Which I also like a lot.
That's what Portland smells like. So you're right there.
IPA and weed in my pits. That's what it smells like.
Yep, indeed. Okay, here, we're gonna do a fun. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. But how do you pronounce that word? My handwriting's terrible.
No, it's not.
VASE. How do you pronounce that word?
Base.
Vase.
Okay.
Does anybody say vase?
I don't know. That's why we're here. That's what the fans want to know.
I think you only get to say vase if it costs 6 figures or more.
You have to say it like vase.
Yes, check out my vase.
I also think you don't put flowers in a vase, you know, like it's like reserved for something else. Like
Dead people.
dead people, yes.
I keep my grandma in my vase.
My grandma Winifred is in that vase.
Don't put grandma in the vase.
She's better than that.
Yeah.
Grandpa goes in the vase. Grandma goes in the vase. There you go. Okay, on your website, you have a quote.
We have a vase song.
No, I don't know. I thought of that today while driving.
Put it on our list.
On your website, where were all the dogs looking? At what and why?
Yeah, I wrote that line. I was just thinking about how sometimes dogs look away when they're scared or when they don't like the vibe. You'll start to notice it now. Like dogs, like we're dog people. We like dogs, and when the dog looks away, shit's kind of going down. So
I love it. It's very poetic. I was just curious. Do you have more than one dog? Do you have a dog?
we do one at a time. We have a dog named Charlie right now. He's kind of young still.
Mhm.
He's sort of a himbo. He's big,
Himbo, I love that.
very beautiful and not very smart, which is sort of new for both of us.
Yeah.
We've always had smart dogs, so it's weird to have a not very smart dog, but he actually like snuggles. You know, he's big, he's a lab, and he will put his arms around you.
He
and
literally
put
puts his
head
arms
on you,
around you. You know,
which is
like
really
Oh, he gives you little hugs. He gives you little puppy hugs.
and spoon you and put his arms around you. It's really weird. It's awesome.
He
Yeah.
likes that musk too, Brian. He's like, give it to me. That's adorable. Abby, I mean, I appreciate it too, but Abby really, really geeks out with the dogs on the podcast.
you know. We'll send you a Charlie photo. Do you have a dog?
I don't. I'm just not. I'm traveling too much and have too much going on right now, and it would be mean and sad for the dog. So
Yeah, it's
I will. I will one day.
They're the best. Brian said we lost Maggie about 3.5 years ago, which was totally devastating. And I was like, I'm not ready for a new dog. And Brian said, life's too short not to have a dog, which I thought was sweet.
And a year later, we're like, why did we get this dog? Ruined our clothes. He just like,
And our clothes.
yeah, and
That's okay.
barks at everyone that walks by.
You'll get there. He gives hugs. That's the best. The hugs outweigh everything. Okay. We're going to stick with the vase pronunciation writing area of the podcast. When you're writing out words, as opposed to something else, when you're writing, how do you make your capital I's?
Oh, you should answer this. Brian has really cool penmanship because he was studying to be an architect for a while, so he knows how to do that.
Yeah,
What
right,
do you
like an
call it?
architect.
It's like a special kind of handwriting that architects have.
So it's all caps. Everything's caps. So you do the I with the top and bottom.
Okay, so you do it's not just
I don't. No,
it's
I
a serif.
Yeah. The Sarah.
How do you write your I's?
Straight.
Straight. Whoa, capitalize is straight.
Path of least resistance. You think you have bad handwriting. I have like shockingly terrible handwriting and always got like C minuses in handwriting in grade school. And I tried to change it. I don't even hold a pencil right. I don't know what happened to me. But
Did they teach penmanship for you growing up?
yeah,
They did. And you're like, F this, I'm going my way.
I definitely, wait, but I'm looking at a Post-it note of yours and it doesn't.
It's not the same. Oh
Oh yeah. Brian lied.
Whoa, he's an I liar.
He tricked.
Oh crap.
Maybe he
tricked-
writes if a word starts with an I, maybe he writes it differently.
For sure. Yeah.
How often are you writing igloo?
Ice cream.
Imagery. This
Yeah, imagery. Quick, everyone name I words.
Incontinent.
yes. That's when we write a lot.
You're just constantly writing
Inconceivable.
it. This is fun. This is a fun episode. Okay, husband and wife. What's it like making music with your spouse?
Great.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I would say obviously one of the reasons we're together is because we have a connection and probably I would say most every area, and music is obviously one of them. So
BMX is the one.
Yeah,
we don't have a
we
connection.
don't. Fishing.
Musk and music. And
Yes. So it's fun. I mean, we can read each other's minds. We can kind of like not even have to finish a sentence. When we come up with a melody or a harmony part or something like that, it's just like it's almost like it was already made up. It's kind of freaky sometimes.
oh, that's fun. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And it's fun. And so then also, just because life is busy, sometimes one of us will be working more on the music and one of us won't be there to do that, and then they can carry some weight in another way. Heather's writing most all the lyrics now, and the more she does it, the more I don't want to do it. She's a lyricist, and for her it's fun, and for me it's like this,
Yeah, I love it.
like a total chore. I used to write lyrics my whole musical life quite often, and I was in the habit of having a notebook with me all the time, and I wrote my little architecture writing, and actually that was fun. I would write these songs in my notebook and make them look really cool and kind of like take my time to write these things out. But kind of once you stop doing it,
If you don't use it, you lose it for sure.
it could come back, I think, someday. But
Yeah.
so anyway,
I love it's funny, I've only ever made music with my brother
Mhm.
and my husband. So I don't know if I could make music with someone who was kind of stuck with me. I think to me, it's vulnerable that I can't. I mean, I've been in a band with people who I wasn't related to or legally related to, but I'm not like collaborating closely. And so I think I'm kind of shy in that way. So I love making music with Brian, and it's really actually touching when I have a song that's like a little baby robin that just fell out of the nest, and I'm like, oh, is this any good? And Brian sort of scoops it up and says, yeah, this robin's gonna live.
It's a great metaphor. I love that.
yeah, and I think, like she was saying, so much of being in a band is we're spoiled now that we don't have to be diplomatic and work with other people and compromise, whereas when we're working together we could be brutally honest.
Yeah.
And
Totally. And it's like, it's cool because it's a compliment. Like we can be brutally honest, and it's like, it's actually really sweet. Like Brian will say, you can sing better than that. Or I'll say, that's not very, I've heard you do a lot more interesting guitar solos than that. Like maybe you should do that.
You say that's Corvette crap. We're in Corvair. God damn it. Does anything ever bleed over where you're like working on something and it's not working, and they're like, I don't know, like it would be working if you took out the garbage. As I say it, it's a bad joke, but
No, I mean, it goes the opposite. We like, right, about me being like shitty. I talk about me being shitty, for example, because like I have this habit of Brian will be asleep and I'll be like, I feel like fighting. Like, I don't know what it is. I'll be like, hey, tap him on the shoulder and be like, remember that thing? And he's like, just can we go to bed? And I can't like calm my body down. So I'm just like, oh, remember? So right hook's just about me being shitty. So we are working stuff out through song, but I like narc on myself versus write it about Brian being shitty.
You're like, wake up, drink some squirt, let's write some tunes. Okay, so in your this is a fun question. In your home, do you have a hierarchy of towels?
Yes.
And if you know, you know, where you have your, let's start from the bottom. You have like your shitty, desperate towels if everything's dirty, and you have your like, your secret favorites that have been with you for a while. Then you have the nice towels, which usually sit somewhere visible, folded forever. And then you have beach towels and whatever else. Do you have this? Are you towel people?
Uh-huh. And I think you're right in that the nicest stuff you don't want to use, which is really
Never use.
you've spent all this money on it. I also have this with hand towels, which is like a whole different thing that I have my favorite, but I'm like preserving it for some future in which I don't know what. But yeah, totally towel hierarchy. And then the real bottom of the barrel is the dog towels.
Yeah, the dog or like cleanup towels for sure.
Really bad and like tattered. And yeah, so there's a big spectrum of towels in our house.
Yes. So how long are you using a towel?
Oh.
Just for your body, just using it after the shower.
About to bring up the fact that we have two small boys and they're getting a little bit older. One's 11 now, so they're getting to the point where I don't want to use that towel after he used that towel. They have their own little towels with their own names on, and they're just getting old enough that they're starting to use the regular towels. And I'm like, so now I'm not using that.
You got to hide some towels. You got to now have another level of towels that are hidden.
He needs to have his own like gray towel, some kind of darker towel that's for him.
It's like
Gray, brown.
White towel thing for quite some time, and Heather's indulged me. So we've had basically our main towels are white, and that's hard because they obviously don't stay white, and for various reasons.
What
and
reasons?
Getting, the fish and the Oreos.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to stay that soft either. I don't know.
they don't. Have you ever noticed how they start to contract at the band? Does that ever happen where they get this weird
Now, is it
accordion
really the
effect?
color, or is that just
Yeah, they do get a little hard, like the terry cloth little things get a little harder.
Yeah, I feel bad.
You got to turn down the heat on your dryer.
Oh, boo. I'm not a scientist.
That's how I maintain my towel softness.
I thought there was just on and off.
Oh, well,
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, is that a thing for real?
I don't know, but it seems to work for my towels. They're still very soft.
You could have kept going with that forever. We would have told people at parties this.
I dry them on like a low or a medium heat, never on a higher heat.
no?
Yeah.
Slow and low.
Could totally be a placebo thing, but I'm into it. And they're very soft.
Do we have a towel song?
I don't know.
You just wanted to ask about towels.
Sometimes I'm just curious. Sometimes I just want some solidarity and make sure I'm not a psycho over here being like, that's the good towel, Why don't you ever use it? I don't know. It costs $7.
Just really want new towels now.
Brian has an Amazon problem. That's like our main fight is I'll be like, why are you supporting Jeff? You're in love with Jeff. Like every time a package arrives, I like razz him about supporting Amazon. And so this is going to be an Amazon event. I feel an Amazon event coming.
The towels.
the towels.
Yeah. You should go feel towel. You should go to Target. You should go to somewhere and touch them. And
I really appreciate Threshold home towels. They're nice.
They have like a new spa line one too, and they are so soft.
who? Amazon?
Target.
Oh, Target. Yeah.
Mhm.
Should get Chip and Joanna Gaines towels.
That is shiplap.
What's your opinions on shiplap, bra guy?
Stuff above my head.
It's vertical. It's different.
Yes.
Yeah, it's different. Totally.
Had this conversation because Brian installed all this siding. We're like, literally, like, is this too fucking Magnolia home? And it's
That's
like,
in
no,
though.
it's vertical. That's
Yeah.
different. That's cooler.
And yeah, I don't think they do vertical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're wild.
It's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Brian installed it.
Prominent like lines in between. I have opinions, and I think those suck.
I can't. I'm gonna write the intro for this and be like, with the most badass band in the world, they do vertical shiplap. Stay out of their fucking way. You're gonna die. Like to just go real and then nuts, you know. If you fuck with Corvair,
Oh, shiplap you.
we'll shiplap you. Okay, so we're staying in the home here. Who does the dishes? Do you have a set?
About halvesies. Like Heather likes to leave me the pans.
Of course.
He
She
called me Mrs. 90% the other day. He's like, all right, Miss 90%, because I leave like the shittiest cleanup. I do it all, and I'm like, I clean the kitchen.
but she
And then
likes to, she empties the dishwasher way more than I do, so I'm totally fine with that.
Okay. And then who takes out the garbage?
I do.
Yeah.
I've never taken out the garbage.
But she washes the towels.
Feminism can only go so far.
I've never washed our towels.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
And then about once a month, I have a total meltdown and say, I can't deal with this. It's like 5 hours of laundry folding. You have to help me. And then I just end up doing it myself while watching like Meatballs or something.
Meatballs, the movie?
The food.
Okay. Like, what?
Yeah, we watched Meatball. I think we've watched it a lot in the last few years.
We just bought it. We own it now.
You own it on VHS?
No, on the cloud.
Oh, okay.
Meatballs is the movie poster makes it look like a sex comedy, but it's not really. It's pretty like wholesome. But you remember those like 80s movie posters that always have like nipples and
Well, like
bulging muscles?
Princess Leia looks like a
Yes.
sex symbol in Star Wars poster.
The 70s, 80s were very big on like nipples and man butt. Like a lot of like Gibson butt. I just assumed when I was a little boy, I was like, oh man, women love a butt. And you're like, no, they don't.
Like MacGruber.
Yes. Oh, we're coming over, by the way. You guys seem real fun.
We're gonna show you. the ship.
I want to see this shiplap. Okay, Brian.
In the audience, these guys laughed hysterically at the MacGruber line,
Yeah, it was quiet.
showing us that they get the reference.
Yes.
It's the best sex scene in movie history. by
It
far.
is so good. Did you watch the show MacGruber on Peacock like 2 years ago?
Started to, I can't remember what happened. I just couldn't hang with Peacock, I think.
Yeah.
It was funny. I don't know what happened.
It was very good. It held up.
Yeah.
Held up a lot. Very funny. Sticking in the pop culture department here, and I'm curious, Brian's got opinions. Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Heather, you're
Well, I'm really
historian.
excited to watch Oppenheimer because I actually have read probably 7 books on the Manhattan Project and Oppenheimer. I actually know a lot about Oppenheimer, and so because I was obsessed with yeah, I even went to Los Alamos as a tourist and have read all these kind of obscure books about it. So
I'm so curious what you think. I saw Oppenheimer. I almost wish I would have known this and we would have said, go see the movie before so I could ask you how accurate and shit it is.
well, I'm a little scared to see it. I mean, we both really like Christopher Nolan too. I'm a little scared to see it because everyone says it's like devastating, and I'm prone to devastation. So, I mean, and I'm actually, I'll say, not to be a downer, but I'm bummed that Barbie and Oppenheimer are being linked because I feel like it's exactly the problem, which is Oppenheimer is not going to really land existentially because you're like, oh, but it's just like the anti-Barbie. It's like,
If you can separate, I haven't seen Barbie. I want to see Barbie soon, but I can separate them. Obviously, I saw Oppenheimer, and I have a stance about recommending movies where I don't want to be like it's the best movie ever because it will never live up to anything. I personally loved it. That's all I can say. I knew a fraction about this story and I liked it a lot. So I am curious what you will think.
oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I want to see it.
He's such a tragic figure. I mean, it's
And like, you know,
oof.
The cast is phenomenal.
fear of nuclear war was very prominent in my early rock band days. My first band was called Shell Shock, and I used to silkscreen t-shirts with mushroom clouds and like fallout shelter symbols, and I wrote songs about how we're all going to die in a nuclear war.
Wow, this just took a turn.
That was like very well. I was
Nah,
pretty young. I wasn't like my band in my 20s. This was like when I was a kid. So
and this is your soft rock band, right? Your like smooth jazz band that you were upset.
Totally.
Shell Shock, yes.
Your Steely Dan cover band is what it was.
I want to see Barbie too, but
Yeah, I want to see it.
sounds good. At first, I didn't really like the preview. I thought it was like winking too hard.
Yeah, I think it's one
just
that
like get it.
I think I'm hoping it will be better than it seems. It doesn't seem like it would be that good. So I'm
The
hoping.
same boat. I like the director. Greta Gerwig is great. I think she'll have a feminist approach. I think it will have. Yeah, it's probably winking at you the whole time, but I'm on board for it. Cool. What's the last movie you watched together? Was it Meatballs?
It was Meatballs.
Because our
We
Did
just
you
took,
make meatballs while watching Meatballs?
we just took our kid to camp
we're like,
Like-
here, this is what it's gonna be
the
like.
day before yesterday.
Bill Murray's gonna be there. No, we watched Meatballs, and then we tried to watch Caddyshack the other day, and we took the kids to Mission Impossible last week, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, that was like my nervous system was totally
That was, like,
exhausted.
only
by
ever,
the
like,
end of it.
You know,
It was just-
since the pandemic, I mean, we just never really got back into the movie theater habit. And so it's like maybe the second or third movie we've seen in 3 years in a theater. It's so
It's $1 billion.
everything tripled in price overnight. And then
But they don't give a shit if you bring your own 2-liter. Like no one cares anymore.
Really?
I'm not even kidding you. Like I've been bringing just snacks. I have a daughter too, and I go see. I'm just like, let's bring all our home stuff into the movie. Shrimp cocktail, let's do it.
Irving,
fresh, yeah.
Fish. I was gonna say something about to me. I love movies. A big thing for me seeing Oppenheimer in the theater was it was packed. Kids were going to Barbie. Like teens were dressed in pink, and it had a very like romantic moment, nostalgic and poetic moment for me. I was like, yes, I'm so happy. I love movies. I go to movies, So that too lends itself to the experience.
Yeah.
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 We did that like a year ago with Top Gun when we took our kids to that too. They were just like wanted to see it so bad. And so we're like, all right, let's do it. And
It was totally a
Yeah,
thing.
like
Like
the crowds cheering.
There's a few movies you have to see in the theater, I think. All right. Well, what song of yours should we end this episode with?
Yeah, right, Hooks. I think it's got like all the key ingredients.
Okay, cool.
It's got a little bit of everything all packed into one song.
I love it. Okay, the most important question, and I'm curious if you will have separate answers. If you could interview any musician, live or dead, in the vein of Bothering the Band, so very silly, light, who would you interview?
Mine's obvious. She knows it. It's David Bowie. Period. I even dreams about it once in a while. I might get to hang out with him. I'm just all like starstruck and just don't know what to say. I get to hang out with him.
Yeah. I think Ray Davies.
Ooh, I like it. That's the first Ray Davies we've gotten. That's a really good answer. Okay, so let's stay in this. What would you ask them in the vein of Bothering the Band? Something very stupid or personable?
I would probably ask him about every song on like Village Green. Say, do you remember Walter? Tell me about Walter. Like, I just love all the weird town folk minutia in that. I would probably just be asking him a lot about his songs, or like, when you were talking about that guy's frilly nylon panties, did you actually know a guy that wore frilly nylon panties? I just think they have such funny texture in their lyrics that I would be weaving lyrics and life together and like ask him what brand of cigarettes he smokes. And
Yeah, nice. Good ones. I like when artists get very specific, even if it's like hyper local and stuff like that. Like, you feel like you're there. Brian, what would you ask Mr. David Bowie?
It's funny because I'm really kind of obsessed with his, Eno trilogy, Berlin stuff. And I did see some Instagram clip today or story, whatever, about him talking about the use of the synthesizer in those sessions and how, expressive it was, and how none of them knew how to use this instrument, and they were just pressing buttons and creating crazy sounds and just having a great time with it. And you think like it blows your mind because so many people have emulated that, including us, on deciding like what keyboard patch to use, and like, oh, this sounds just like this is the keyboard they used on Loho. Let's do that one. And but I think I would ask him more specifically about how he wrote his songs, in what instrument. I don't think I've really ever learned that. Did he write on the guitar? Did he write on the piano? And how formed were they before he brought them to his band? Because he always had an incredible group of musicians and talent and producers that he worked with. So how much of that was written ahead of time on his own? How much of that was written by these hired guns that he had? How much did he collaborate with them? So just kind of his whole process, I think I'd want to learn about and copy.
Good answer. Man, Bowie comes up a lot. It's of course. I'd be hard pressed to think of someone else myself.
And I was such a hardcore fan from like the first day I got turned on to him that it just completely changed my life. And I felt like, and I still kind of feel like I was like the first fan.
Yeah. Anyone's like, Uncle Bowie, you're like, I liked him first.
yeah.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, it's weird too, because like when I first got turned on to the certain albums that seemed that, I'd never heard anything like it, and thinking that they were only 10 years old at the time. There's this older stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird now to think about music that's 10 years old. That doesn't seem like very long ago. That record from 2013.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. Oh, goodness. Okay, so what's next for Corvair?
Oh, we're late. As always, we're writing album number 3, but we're like, we're
Yeah,
late.
it's literally on my list of things to do this weekend. Is
write a record.
Yeah, well, finish we've got little challenges we did for every record now. creating like a 30-day challenge where you have to write a little bit of a song every day. And it usually
Sure.
yields some pretty good results. We did that, but we both want a little bit more. So we're probably going to do a few more short burst challenges before we try to solidify what the next batch of songs is going to be. We're trying to coordinate who the next drummer is going to be for the record and set up some recording time for the fall.
They better have some power. That's all I'm gonna say.
And or pop. And then this weekend also, we're on my list of things to do is to kind of work on Christmas song a little bit, because we put out a Christmas song every year, and we have decided to put out a full-length Christmas vinyl, but that's been pushed off a year. So our only real pressure is to write one for this winter, but we're always behind schedule on the Christmas song. Like it comes out like on Spotify like December 24th and never can make it to anyone's Christmas list. So we're trying to get ahead of the curve this time and finish the Christmas song.
This is an original song you guys are trying to write.
Yeah, but the full length is going to have a batch of covers too.
Okay, very cool.
We'll take this fourth one, and then we have a batch of Christmas songs that we've already started. Another 4 or 5 songs that we have to work on, but now those don't have to be done until next year. So, but we do have to work on Christmas music and finish writing the record and plan that, and then start booking some more shows and play some live music.
Cool. Well, if you come to Florida, let us know. We will be there. We'll throw Oreos at you.
Yes.
I really want to come to Florida.
Across the bridge.
I'm obsessed.
Obsessed.
What-
How
well,
so?
Key West, because
Okay.
well, among other things, Judy Blume lives there. And when I saw the architecture in the show Bloodline, the curtains, I was very captivated by the interior design of Sissy Spacek's house. And I was like, this is this whole style,
Yeah.
maximal but chill style. And I wanted to like live up to those curtains and have a house that would warrant those curtains. So I've really wanted to go to Key West, but there's so many places to go in the world that it's hard to plan it. But maybe we could just play a show in Key West and invite Judy Blume, and you guys could come, and we can have curtains that are large, tropical, floral.
You should just do your show at one of those estates down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a possibility.
Like Ben Mendelsohn can like blow something.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I hope Kyle Chandler will be there because he's my guy. Coach Taylor. I hope he would be there.
He seems like a stand-up guy.
I hope so. He just has a special place in my heart from Friday Night Lights that I hope he's not like the worst guy in real life.
I can't imagine.
He's so wholesome. Oh man, this has been such a fun episode. Don't go anywhere because I do have one thing to say after this. But if you want to promote anything, everyone go follow Corvair Band, right, on Instagram. Go listen to their new album. Keep a lookout for Christmas songs. If you see Brian, don't drive a Corvette. I don't know. This has been fun, guys.
Don't carry fish.
Don't carry Fisher. Boom, nailed it.
Oh, yes.
And that's our show. Guys, thank you so much. This has been so fun.
Oh, we loved it.
A stormy night, my tongue is light, and child